Hello, welcome to another episode of Show Boys. My name is Mike. I'm joined by my lovely friends here, Pixel Nick, Chadwick III, and Dad, the producer. Nick, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, Michael?
Pretty good. Dad, what's up?
Uh, Not much. I'm good, by the way, if that's what you meant. How are you?
Threw him through the loop from changing the question.
Yeah.
I was totally ready
All right,
to say I'm good.
That's
He was
not
calling
what.
me Dad at the end of the. I'm doing good, Dad. How are you?
That's not what we rehearsed. I'm
Punctuation.
sorry. I'll stick to the script next time.
I'm not good at
Chad,
improv.
you a little sleepy over there, man.
A little sleepy, but I'll be all right.
Sleepy boy.
Yeah.
Survive.
Well, hopefully tonight's topic will keep everyone on the edge of their seat and eyes wide open as we get into some Star Wars fun stuff. Before we get into anything, though, I want to say thank you to our top tier patrons, Tim B, Yusuf H, and Joe C. All of our other patrons, you guys are awesome. Thank you for helping keep the lights on. If you want to know how you can support us, you can head over to patreon.com/showboyspodcast. I almost said media. And you can sign up and support us financially monthly. And it just helps us continue to bring you some top tier quality content. So head over there, check out what we have to offer, and sign up today. That'd be awesome. So tonight's topic, we're just getting right into it because I don't know. Do you get first? Do you guys have anything like any news or updates or anything you want to get into before we jump into the topic?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Go buy Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
Game of the year, maybe game of the decade.
I agree.
So, like
100%.
the 3 years of the decade we're in, or the past 10 years?
Past 10 years.
Past
Holy
10
moly.
and then the next 10.
Oh wow,
Dude, it's really
wow.
good.
So Jedi Survivor is just like trash
Jedi
now?
Survivor, yeah. I feel bad for Jedi Survivor because I had planned to get the platinum. I did finish it, completed it, but yeah, it's
And?
gonna get totally overshadowed by Tears of the Kingdom, unfortunately, and everything for the foreseeable future.
Womp, womp,
Nice.
womp.
I'm pretty excited. I might have to go buy it.
Yeah, you really should have done that deal, dude, because $25, you cannot
Well,
pass that up.
I went to Walmart and they had an OLED with Tears of the Kingdom and it was $370.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's real good.
I was this close to getting it.
Dude, I was so close. I went to a unnamed game store the other day with the intention of buying an OLED. And I like played around with the demo for a little bit. And then I was like, yeah, dude, whatever. I'm doing it. Walk up to the counter and I wanted the Zelda one. And the lady ahead of me bought the last Zelda one. And I was like,
Oh, no.
guess that makes my decision for me.
Should have jumped her in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Apparently I've been hearing a lot of good things about that game from a lot of different people. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Do you know what Tears of the Kingdom is, Nick? Because I'm not super familiar with.
I don't. I was reminded that Ubisoft is making a open world like Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I forgot they announced, and it just made me dream of, possibilities that will never happen.
Yeah, it'll come out when Eclipse does.
Yeah,
Right.
it's actually the same game.
Yeah.
That will just forever be my joke until Eclipse comes out. So, yeah, no, I've heard a lot of good things about Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe my Zelda avoidance is kind of like my Star Wars avoidance was.
It is, yeah.
Where it's like the last one I played was like Link's Awakening on the SNES,
trash. Yeah.
and then never played another one since. And by now there's like 30 other Zelda games, and I'm just like, everyone always fanboys all over all these games. There's too
there's only
many.
two.
Yeah.
I don't want to play them.
This one's worth it.
Yeah, this one's worth it. I had major concerns going into this one because a lot is the same from Breath of the Wild, including the map and the music, and a lot of stuff is exactly the same. And I thought that was going to be really bad, but it's like really hitting nostalgic notes for me. Every turn is like, oh my God, I remember this song. It's so good. So I actually, and what I thought was going to make
Nintendo.
the game ended up making me love the game. So
Are we that cheap on nostalgia now? It only takes like 5 years to like.
yeah, for that game, dude. I mean, I dropped the thing
man.
I dropped the thing in the Discord. I put a absurd amount of time into that game, according to the clocker on the Switch. So
I'd play it if I had a Switch, but I don't have
Yeah.
a Switch.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, you know what? You guys could probably win. Actually, yeah, you definitely probably could win this OLED Switch. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, though. So tell your friends, come subscribe to the YouTube channel over here and help us give this away because
So
we want to give it to somebody.
I'm gonna get my kids to make YouTube accounts.
so I was just thinking
And-
the same thing.
I've
He
got
does
got, like-
have enough kids to get us close.
I've got like
Right.
300 kids myself, so it could work. I might have a chance.
Yeah, we don't call him Dad, the producer, for nothing. Okay.
I'm dad to many. That's what they say.
Regular old Nick Cannon back there.
Oh,
Uh,
that was dirty.
yeah.
Real dirty.
I saw Guardians of Galaxy 3 Tuesday night, so 2 nights ago.
Sorry, how was it?
It was pretty good. I thought it was a nice little bow on top of that trilogy. Kind of sad. Like a lot of
That's what I heard.
Did Gamora die in it?
Again?
We're like a decade behind there. Focused a lot on Rocket Raccoon, and his whole
Coops.
backstory and stuff, and it was really good. I thought the villain was super awesome. The High Evolutionary, what an interesting character. And he had this, like, I'm sure you've seen it in the trailers, but like his face skin is like strapped onto like cybernetic, like droidish, like
like iRobot
head
style
thing,
looking head.
but
yeah.
like where the skin like meets the metal, like it looks like it's meeting the metal and it's like just like soldered on, or like yeah, it looked really good.
I want to see it just because of that.
Yeah, and he was just a very eccentric, like crazy person, and I loved it. It was pretty good. It was fun, and it was free. So every free movie I go see is always like a level better than it probably should be.
That's
But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. You guys got anything else? You just want to get right into the topic?
Let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Do it.
We got to get there before Chad falls asleep. So
Clock's
Chad,
ticking.
yeah, Chad pitched this idea last week. Due to his fervent play of Jedi Survivor, he's like, "Hey, let's make a list or rank our favorite Star Wars characters." So we're like, "All right, that sounds cool." And then Nick and I on Monday went and we were guests on the Funny Sci-Fi Popcast, and all we did was talk about Star Wars. And that kind of got me even more excited to do this character list. So here we are. We're going to power rank our favorite characters from the Star Wars movies and shows. That's really the only criteria. We didn't include any game characters, and we didn't include any like fringe legends stuff. What we included, how many did we have? 25, and then we added one right before we went live tonight. So we got 26 characters. So chances are some of you listening or watching, some of your favorite characters might not be on this list because we couldn't include them all. And on top of that, of the 26 that we picked out, a few of them probably won't make it on the tier list. They might actually just get left off. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure we're going to enrage a few, handful of you. But if we do, just comment and tell us why we're stupid idiots and shouldn't be allowed to talk about Star Wars anymore. Which shouldn't be hard because I'm just a stupid idiot anyway. So you already have like plenty of ammunition for that.
When I was crafting a list, I'm like, man, where's Jordan to just make fun of us as we wheel and deal? Because he's just like, well, obviously those 10 are the best characters. Duh, you idiots.
Yeah.
He's like
hopeless tie. to the originals.
My ranking is no, it's finished, and then it's just a blank tier list. That would be Jordan's tier list.
And I think your tier list with Jordan has zero overlap. Like you're just kind of like all the shows and like new stuff, and he's just all the old stuff.
Yeah, just every character from the OG trilogy, and then mine's just all Clone Wars and Rebels characters.
Yeah, when you put Agent Callus's name in the hat, I'm like, oh boy,
he's an awesome character though.
You're totally like 22 years old.
Lost your way, Mike.
I wish
you're so young in that sense because you've just started watching Star Wars in the past like 3 years.
That's true. That's very true. But he's a cool character. He doesn't really stack up to the powerhouses that we have on the list. But without further ado, here we go. Here is our wonderful tier graphic with the characters that were selected. So, Nick, could you do the honors and just let everyone know who we will be ranking?
Man, all right. Got a handful here. So no particular order. We have
it's Karma. Hang on. That's Karma coming back for you because you're super sped up now.
Talk slowly.
No, I'll talk way slowly.
Now say Wally for me, just real slow like that.
Is it broken?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Well, that's awkward. Let's see if I can find the list in Discord.
Can you see my screen?
I was gonna say, can you see the screen?
I can, but I'm also a big dumb
names.
Star Wars idiot.
So
some pictures I'd be like, I don't know who that is. So we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Anakin Skywalker, / Darth Vader. They're kind of one and the same, two different characters, but we'll figure out a way to make that work. Captain Rex, Yoda, Palpatine, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Chewbacca, R2-D2, Grogu, Darth Maul, Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, Mace Windu, Cassian Andor, Cad Bane, the Grand Inquisitor, and then Kylo Ren.
Rilo. Rilo.
That's the one that wasn't written down.
I'm exclusively calling him Rilo from now on.
Rilo Ken.
What?
Jin Urso's up there. Saw Gerrera's on the graphics here. Thrawn's on the graphic. And yeah, that should cover it. So there's our list of many characters that we will be ranking. Where do we start, guys? Where do we start?
I think we maybe start at the bottom, yeah? Work our way up or what?
Yeah, D tier.
D tier?
Oh yeah, the only stipulation we have, we're gonna reserve 4 spots for S tier characters, and that's it. So we can have no more than 4 S tier characters.
Oh.
So that's going to be tough. And then if I understood Nick correctly before we went live, each one of these characters can automatically be bumped down a tier one time. If like one of us is like, there's no way Grogu deserves to be an S tier, but all the other ones are like, no, he's totally S tier. And I'm like, no, he's garbage. He deserves to be not even on this graphic, but we'll bump him down to A tier. Then he can go down to A tier, but he can't be bumped down anymore because that was his one time. Is that kind of where you're going with that, Nick?
I have a question. Can we use that either direction? Can we bump a character up or bump a character down?
And we can't. Can we counter bump?
You can counter bump.
Yes.
There's so many bumps. We're gonna be bumping all night long, bro.
I would say maybe you get 1 up or down.
1 up or down, okay.
Everyone gets 1 up or down.
Us? Okay. So we'll have 4 1 up or downs, or are you talking about per character?
No, per person. Us.
Okay.
Us.
That's much more
more
manageable.
I also feel like you can't do the counter bump because then there's really not even a purpose of having the bump. Well, somebody's just going to counter bump it.
Unless you bumped them even further in the same direction.
Oh. Okay.
So then that would be
double bump.
Yeah.
Double bump.
We got the super bumps, and then we got the counter bumps.
Like Chad, if you bump Ahsoka down and okay, there went one of the 4 bumps for the night. And Dad's just like, dude, there is no way Ahsoka deserves that. I'm going to use my now 2 of 4 bumps and just bump her back up. And now we're like halfway through all our bumps and no one else is getting bumped
Right,
for the night.
right.
No bumps.
No more bumps.
This is the best part of the episode right now.
Yeah.
Just laying out the ground rules for the
Bump
bumping.
rules.
Yeah.
Bumper
Yeah.
rules.
All right. Perfect. So yeah, I'm cool with do we want to go through the list since Chad you started you suggested starting at the bottom.
Mhm.
Do we want to start even like below the bottom? Do you want to pick out are there any characters here that absolutely right off the bat they don't even deserve to be on a tier?
This guy right here.
No way. No way.
He
I'll
totally
counterpump
did
you
go.
immediately. Yeah, I mean, I think there is. I think personally, Bo doesn't belong on this list. I can't stand.
Whoa!
I can't stand. I mean, here, this is another thing we need to iron out. Is this all of her story?
Yeah.
Because I can't stand her in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no,
to
this
be
is
honest with you.
animated
Okay.
shows or animated live action or the movies.
Okay. So
Whole
she can
character.
maybe, she can maybe hang around for a little bit,
She's
just
on the
because of the animated.
edge.
Right on the fringe.
Yeah.
All right. Dad, nominate someone to hit the fringe.
R2D2.
Ooh, that's rude, man. R2's like
I-
he's been
listen,
in every
I-
sing-
Love him, but he's doesn't meet these power requirements, you know?
guess depends on
Plus,
what we consider power.
he's very quick to just whip out that dongle, and I don't know like
Yeah, it's a little
Sticking into
disturbing.
things
how
and-
many of these poor like control panels he's like asking consent with. Like he's just
Mhm.
I don't know, just
violating
R2D2 is
everything with
Not
his
not
dongle.
very PC these days.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Have you guys ever watched the Family Guy Star Wars stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
It's so good.
so freaking good. And I've never watched Family Guy. Just watching the Star Wars stuff is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll have to
it's
check
funny.
it out.
It's good
Oh, you
stuff.
need to, yeah.
Nick, who would you nominate to be bumped to just not even be on the list?
I'll nominate Jyn Erso.
Okay, that's understandable. I think we
Can't believe
we all
Bo's getting the
know my vote,
Your
and that's
vote,
Grogu.
yeah.
He's worthless. Just why does he even exist? Oh, I know, because they just print money with Grogu.
Yeah.
But as a character himself,
It's because he's cute.
he's garbage.
I
So
agree.
honestly, I'm cool with those hanging out off the tier listing, except for Bo. I think Bo deserves to make it somewhere.
I would man, I would I'd probably swap Bo over. I would save Bo to drop Saw.
Oh man,
Ooh.
because Saw
we-
is awesome across. I mean, he's a minor character in live action, and just a grade above minor character in the animated stuff.
Yeah.
But he shows up so many times across. Like he's in Clone Wars, he's in Rebels, he's in obviously Rogue One, he's in Andor, and each time he appears, his character just is all over the place in like the best ways, just showing how unhinged and like truly dedicated to the rebel cause. Like Saw is one of my favorite characters. I think he's super strong. Yes, yes, Dad.
Are we basing this off of the character or like how powerful they are?
All facets of the character.
So how well they're developed, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
How much
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want?
Is their story
Like them?
good? Are they
Yeah.
integral to what they're trying to do?
I would agree with you, Mike, on him.
He's probably got one of my favorite arcs through like all of his appearances, because you can see each time, and I know we're not talking about games, but he shows up in Fallen Order, and every time he appears after his first appearance, like chronologically story wise in Clone Wars, like he just slowly just more and more unhinged and more teeters that absolutely like psychotic terrorist type line,
Nick's about to get choked out by a bandana.
I didn't know if you heard the first one, so I was like, all right, I'll make another R2 joke. So what are we trying to say here? You want to keep Bo and get rid of Saul, Nick? I know you probably can't answer me. Mike, is that what he's trying to say?
I mean, we can that whole row down there. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Your poor microphone.
The
Nick.
best part of it, though, is that
It's
I'm still catching exactly what you're saying. It's just like broken English.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the mic, it's the computer.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so the whole row's
rated
going.
I mean, we can. I mean, we can get rid of 10 characters if we wanted to.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the other ones on the list have a place.
Get rid of.
Yeah, just that Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, 6 characters right off the top. That'd be a big chunk.
You just woke up, Chad.
Yeah,
that's
20 wide awake now.
20%
I
of
can't
our
believe
list.
you're a Rebels guy and you don't like the Inquisitor. That's wild. I think the Inquisitor took a bad shot in the Obi-Wan series. I think he's shit in that series, unfortunately.
Sure.
But through Rebels, he's fantastic, and through a lot of the expanded universe stuff, he's really cool too.
Yeah, he's a cool character. Let's revisit.
We'll just drop him down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now, it's nothing's too permanent here. So, excuse me. Man, is it easier to go by tier, or is it easier to grab a character and be like, this is where I think they should go, and then adjust from there? I think we grab characters.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Well, we're talking about the Inquisitor. Let's throw him up. He'll be numero uno.
Okay.
What's your case, Chad? Or did
I want to hear
your?
I want to have a counter case, so I want to hear your cases first.
All right. Nick, if we could. Would you like to start us off?
I thought we were slapping people around until
they land in a category.
They're just following Nick moving icons, and we're like, there, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Yeah. Where do you think the Grand Inquisitor should fall, and why?
I mean, I think in the way I think about Star Wars, well, it's a little weird now because we have a much more refined list. So in the whole like scheme of who I see on this screen, I mean, he's like C tier to me.
Okay. I would probably land him maybe on a B tier. Just because I think for the time period that his character exists, he's kind of a huge deal. But you do make a good point when comparing him to the other characters that are part of this ranking. There are some bigger deals. But yeah, Dad, do you have any?
But there's some lesser deals as well. Like Mace, I'm sorry, but Mace just doesn't do anything for me. Like that would, if you guys revolted against my Bo vote earlier, that would have been my next pick.
It's not, yeah. It's
like,
not
I love Samuel L. Jackson. It's just like, yeah.
I don't know
that he stands up with any of these people. My argument for the Grand Inquisitor is he's just a badass character. Like the Jedi Hunter character was always a thing in Legends, old Legends. But to bring that kind of character back, make him a Jedi Temple guard that flipped after what's her face's confession or whatever in Clone Wars. And then I don't know, there's just something about him. It does bring, and I always have questions about like the rule of two, like where the Inquisitors land in the rule of two type of deal. Because I was always under the assumption that the rule of two was to make sure there were only two people drawing off the dark side of the Force. Is that correct?
It's not so much draw. It's more so like Master and Apprentice, like the Sith Lords. Inquisitors aren't Sith Lords.
Right.
Obviously, they're kind of like the staff at the White House. Like, yeah, you might be chief of staff or president someday, but
right. Yeah, I don't know. I think he and you do make a point there. Is he doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of screen time, even in Rebels. He's only, I think, in the first season. So I personally, he's an S tier for me, and I know that's not going to happen, but I would agree with the B tier if we land him in the B tier.
I was gonna go with B tier. I mean, not knowing much about him, I just know that he work for Vader. Like, wasn't he like? Okay.
Yeah.
So he runs like a group.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I mean, he's very high up as far. I mean, he's the highest Inquisitor, and their job is to literally hunt down the remnants of the Jedi Order, which is just such a freaking cool thing to bring. Idea. And they play a big part in Fallen Order, right? The Inquisitors. I just think they're just cool as a whole, and he is like the tip top of the Inquisitors. So
I don't feel like Obi-Wan really did them justice.
No, not at all. Yeah.
They captured the size of his forehead just in the wrong direction.
In the wrong
direction. Instead of being long and skinny, it's just very round and wide.
There's actually... Go ahead, Dad.
I was just going to say I couldn't take them seriously when I saw them at all.
Yeah, I couldn't either. There's a re-edit of Obi-Wan where they turned it into like a 2.5 hour movie, but they also did like reshoots. It's like an indie dude that did all this stuff, and he made the Inquisitor look like he does in Rebels, and it's awesome looking. I don't know why they didn't do that.
I don't know if you intentionally did this or not, but it was hilarious. As Dad was talking, you were kind of like looking up.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
And you're like, talking to me? Yeah, and you're like,
I always look up below. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was great. It looked like you were trying to look at.
Dad, just listen to me, bro.
It was great. Yeah, and continuing on about foreheads, if we're going to consider foreheads in this tier list too, he does have some competition. Maul has cool little horns on his forehead. Thrawn also in competition for a very, very tall and long forehead. Of course, I don't know what's going on with Cad Bane's forehead because he's got the cowboy hat on, but you never know what's on under there. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm good with a B tier.
Yeah,
I can be happy with a B tier. Yeah.
All right, let's park him there.
Okay, who's next?
Let's go with let's see who Nick's already like preemptively tiered as we were discussing. Palpatine. Nick has him as an A tier right now.
S.
You only get 4.
I'm basing that.
Four.
So wait, what?
We only get 4 S tiers.
Okay, so no, never mind.
But the thing is, these are all malleable for now, so we could throw them up there until we find one that would knock him down.
I'm just basing that off of power alone.
Yeah.
That's
dude's mega OP.
He's very
crazy.
OP. Yeah, he's very OP, and he plays a very big part in all 3 trilogies. So, I don't know that he's an S rank, but he is cool. And I know people kind of don't like him in the prequels. I think he's really cool in the prequels as well. So, yeah, maybe I would think about it here. He lands in an A for me personally.
I would say, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, it seems better that he's an A.
Yeah. His portrayal, even though I don't know if I really like Rise of the Skywalker, his portrayal in there is just badass. I don't care. It's just really cool to see a horror element thrown into a Star Wars movie, which I feel like they should do more often. But that opening sequence is like horrifying.
Kylo Ren's awesome.
Where do you have him, Nick? Just A, or were you just sitting him there
Who,
while
Val?
we were talking? Yeah.
I think he's fair for A. Not that he can't upgrade later, but I think that's a safe spot for him right now.
I was thinking like who would potentially knock him out as an S tier. And I'm not sure yet. So I think I'm like in the middle. But I'm okay with an A until we can justify bumping him up. But I would also be cool with him being an S tier as well. Because he is mega OP and he is the focus of all 9 movies, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, he left a comment, by the way, that I saw Dad throw on the screen, but it had me thinking, where is Jar Jar? Why is he not on here?
Dude, I read
S
like
tier, automatically.
there's a crazy theory about Jar Jar
That he's like
being
a
a Sith.
Lord?
Yeah, being a Sith, and that was the original plan for his character, and the backlash made Lucas change his mind. I'm like, dude, that would have been so cool. Like I don't know. If you watch the video, they bring up some compelling points at least.
Yeah.
I have heard that, and it is very interesting for sure. Even like I've seen a lot of things about like Sith eyes,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, he has Sith eyes.
But he's worthless.
He is, but if you watch him, he's actually like a badass fighter. It just makes it he looks doppy while he's doing it. He's actually rather effective.
He does
drunken
boxing.
Yeah. Okay, so we're landing Palpin in A tier for now. So
Works for me.
let's move on to Kylo. I want to move on to Kylo because I'm curious of what you guys think on Kylo.
I think Kylo's B tier.
B,
If not, maybe an A tier.
I think if he wasn't like emotionally like an 11-year-old child, he would definitely be an A tier.
That's the best part of him.
Ugh.
That's the best part of him is because he's super powerful, but he's also like a hormonal teenager. Like that freak out scene in The Force Awakens when he like destroys the computer screen in front of him is like one of the coolest scenes of his character. He would easily land in an A tier for me. Taking out The Last Jedi, I don't necessarily like him in The Last Jedi. He has some good parts, but you got to keep the mask on that guy. He's a weird looking actor, so you take the mask off, he kind of loses his intimidation factor, you know. But yeah, in The Force Awakens and the rebuilt mask in Rise of Skywalker, I don't know, dude. I think his design is awesome. His character is awesome. I wasn't a huge fan of the redemption arc at the end. I thought they should have just kept him bad. I'm so sick of seeing these bad guys become redeemed at the end. I thought it would have just been cool to just leave him be the bad guy for once. But outside of that, yeah, I think he'd be an A tier for me.
Yeah, I agree with Chad.
If we're considering Funko Pops, he's definitely an S tier because he has some amazing Funko Pops.
Consider anything you want, Mike.
I mean, I don't have enough of an argument to. What's that?
Jordan said at one time he's got the fallen prince syndrome, right? And that's why it justifies his angst, his freakouts. Like, I mean, imagine you being that powerful, but also rich and of the most popular people in the galaxy,
right?
And you just fall to the dark side. Like you're gonna be a little like emotionally unstable, and then also just freak out on anything you want.
Based on angst alone, he should be off this chart, according to Mike.
Yeah. No, that's my big issue with Kylo. I want to permanently call him Rilo now.
Rilo.
Too. I'm okay with an A tier, but unless we need to shift some things around, I'm okay with that. Because he is fundamentally like a cool character. Maybe it's just maybe it's just the way that the angst was like acted out, maybe is what was just super annoying to me. But yeah, for the most part, unbridled teen angst, especially in grown adults, just really
It's terrible.
makes me roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Makes his skin crawl.
Yeah. Okay. So do we want to tackle Ahsoka since we're on that row and she's already chilling there?
Yeah. Let's do it.
What do you guys think about Ahsoka?
She's cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ahsoka. I don't know that I'm a big fan of her live action portrayal so far. We'll see when the series comes out, but her in Clone Wars and Rebels, yeah, she's awesome. I do think that it adds a lot of her character adds a lot to the prequel movies as well. As I think Clone Wars as a whole does. Like if you didn't like the prequel movie, you should go watch Clone Wars because I think it heightens all that stuff pretty well. But that being said, I don't know. I mean, she'd probably be a B tier for me.
Chad, Nick, thoughts?
I just gave you my thoughts.
I mean, Dad, Nick,
Chad, Dad. It's
I had the wrong ad.
I don't have many thoughts about her.
Okay.
I don't know her well enough. I mean, she looks cool. She's a Jedi, so that's cool.
That's Jedi adjacent.
A or B tier for me is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be mad at B. I would be mad about C. Somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
Mike,
I don't know
swing
that
it.
I don't know that we can put her and Palp at the.
That's what I mean.
Row,
this is going to slowly shift around as we fill the rows.
Yeah. Well, we can't. There's so many factors because if you're going again with like a character growth side point of view, I think she's right up there with Saw with how we're introduced to her, and even definitely where she ends in the animated stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that also continues with what we've seen in the live action. But her growth as Anakin's, apprentice, kind of into becoming a Jedi, and then her fall from grace with the Jedi, and then her wrestling with that moral grayness of what the Jedi stand for and what she stands for. And then of course the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars is just
so good,
so crazy. And then I think what we've seen in live action so far is obviously she's a lot older than we've seen her in the animated series, but I think she's much more mature in where she stands as this Jedi adjacent Force user. And yeah, like you said, I'm excited to see what more focus on her in her own upcoming series here, and continuing that story, which is essentially Rebels, 2.
Yeah.
So I'd put her at A tier.
Yeah.
Plus, she does have the cool, she dual wielding lightsabers. Her fighting.
She has Filoni power.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
She has Filoni plot armor. She's his brainchild, so
right.
He's gonna pour all he has into her character.
So it puts us 2 B's, 2 A's. Nick, you an A?
Yeah, I'll throw her an A.
Okay.
Nice.
For now.
All right, let's leave her an A for now.
Okay. All right. So we have the Grand Inquisitor sitting at B, and then right now Nick has Cassian Andor up there.
I do want
I'll
to
let-
talk about Cassian.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
let
that's
you
the next-
start, Nick.
Is my mic better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
thank goodness. Okay. Yeah.
And now it's just gonna speed right back up.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Blah, 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 blah.
No, I really like Cassian. I think he, like Ahsoka, embodies this character that we all kind of like know exists in the background of the main point of Star Wars, right? It's like how Ahsoka fills that gap behind the main characters as like this Force user that, you know, also experienced a much different path through all the events of Star Wars. Cassian fills this whole like rebel. He embodies the rebel alliance in terms of like the gritty, dirty stuff that they do.
Right.
And I really love his character for that. He's fantastic in Rogue One. I mean, now because of Andor, he's basically like the main character of Rogue One, even though it's kind of a Jin. But
Yeah.
he's kind of like the breakout character of that. And then, yeah, he just does so much. I think in terms of filling that gap there. And the Rebels aren't just a bunch of like go lucky, happy like freedom fighters. So I think he's definitely B tier, especially if the Inquisitor is going to sit there at B tier in terms of like character intrigue, like
Yeah.
what the Inquisitor does for like the, you know, the grunts of the dark side. Like he's the grunt of the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chad.
Mike. No, go ahead, because you have way more context on this character than I do.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, getting to see how he ended up where he was in Rogue One in the first season of Andor. Of course, we have the second final season coming at some point. Getting to see where he started and how he was kind of like not jiving with the rebel cause, just because he just didn't want to be a part of anything, because he didn't want to like.
He just wanted paid.
Yeah, exactly. He kind
Give me
of
the loot.
didn't want the
Give me the
headache.
loot.
Where's the breakdown? But seeing him slowly come around to getting like buying into the cause by the end of season 1, I'm excited to see what happens in season 2, and of course we know where he sits in Rogue One. But again, just so far has had some really phenomenal character growth for what started out as a pretty not minor, but a side character. So I'd say B's pretty good. I don't know if he's quite A tier material, but I say solid B for sure.
He's a
Yeah.
solid character. I mean, in general, I mean, from what I've seen, he's a good middle ground character. Like, he's not super awesome and he's not super stupid. He's definitely got a place, you know, his story matters in this in the Rebel timeline, and
Yeah.
it just helps drive that even further. And they did a great job with him and showing his, you know, back and forth in the beginning, and then his ultimate like, let's do this. Like it's it's great. It's great. I think that's a good choice. B for sure.
Yeah.
He kind of. Sorry, go ahead, Chad.
No, you're good. You're good. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he is kind of the vehicle that takes us through the formation of the Rebel Alliance, which is a super cool thing to learn about. That's all I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, because we haven't seen anything about how it started.
Right.
We just saw it's already happening. There's a battle, there's a war, there's conflict and everything. We never saw like how it started, and this is a nice insight to that. So yeah, that's all.
I thought you were going to talk about Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, yeah. I think I would agree with you guys on the B tier. I only have the context of Rogue One. I've watched 2 episodes 2 times of Andor, and unfortunately, I really had the full intention of finishing Andor, and then Tears of the Kingdom kind of threw a wrench in that whole plan. So, but from even the first scene that we see him, where he like shoots the dude in the alley, he's just a cool character. I mean, honestly, if it was him and K2SO from Rogue One, like they'd be A tier all day. Like that droid is so freaking funny, dude. Every time I watch that movie, he's hilarious. So yeah, I agree with you on the B tier. I don't have much context outside of Rogue One. I wouldn't have put Jan down at the bottom. I think Jan's a really good character as well. But I think if we got to pick between the two, it's definitely Andor.
Yeah. The real shame is Luthen kind of got snubbed. Now I don't know if he's so awesome, especially in Andor. But
we have to watch Andor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And compared to all the other characters we have up here, like there just wasn't enough material, I think, to help him, have a case against all these other ones. But
that's the problem with Andor. Is Andor makes me want to put my Mothma up there.
Yeah,
Luther,
yeah.
but I just can't.
Yeah.
Get crowded real quick.
It-
It's
yeah.
different.
It would
ranking.
fill up really fast. That'll have to be for the tournament that we do.
The March Madness Star Wars character.
Cool. So yeah, he'll sit a B. Let's talk about Count Dooku.
Oh man.
Let's shift vibe here.
Let's do it.
Count Dooku. He's a big deal. Pretty big character, pretty developed character, and like what he kind of embodies and represents. But I mean, does he have what it takes to like really get up the tiers here?
I think if you look at Clone Wars, yeah, I think he does. I don't know that I'd put him anywhere past C tier, honestly, is probably where I'd land him. I think he's probably, and I'm gonna get hated on this, he's probably my favorite villain from the prequel movies. Darth Maul just does not get a lot in the prequels, let's be honest. Like he's got one movie and maybe like 5 scenes. Badass lightsaber fight, sure, but outside of that, we just don't get much of him. I think Dooku's fleshed out a little bit more.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just like the way I just like watching old guys fight with lightsabers, and he's just like a bad. And that Yoda fight, I know a lot of people hate that.
Gosh.
It's so good, dude. I
What?
love watching them.
Who
fight.
hated that?
Oh, dude, that was a much hated fight when that movie came out.
When those
like
two were fighting?
people blew their minds when they found out that Yoda used the lightsaber. The assumption was from the originals that he was he was so powerful he didn't need to use the lightsaber. And then when he comes out with the lightsaber and starts, he walks in with his cane and then pulls out the lightsaber, and all of a sudden he's jumping around off the walls and stuff. I loved it because I was in that wheelhouse of age, and this is bad. Like I was like 12 years old probably when that movie came out, so it was like awesome to see Yoda fighting. So
I was like 20 when that came out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That'd be super old.
Yeah, you would.
I saw that in theater.
Yeah, so did I.
And everybody,
dude, everybody went
out.
crazy.
They freaking loved it. So that's why I'm shocked that there was any bad.
That was just the internet once it took grip, like 5 years later.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the Star Wars thing where if you
crawling out,
if you were in The Last Jedi opening night, people were freaking out at that movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then after the days go by, people were pissy about it. It's just this only happens to Star Wars for whatever reason. Seems like it at least.
Seriously,
but yeah, I don't.
One of the most memorable fight scenes for me.
Yeah.
Was
hands down. Yeah, hands down. And the fact that he totally disables Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan prior to that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Or Anakin and Obi-Wan. I might have said Obi-Wan twice there. 1 hour sleep. Give me a break, okay? So yeah, I don't know. I dig him a lot. He's got that old school samurai warrior vibe going on. So
is his saber handle curved?
Yeah. Yeah, it's badass.
It's like an old man cane.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way he pulls it out. Like there's just a lot I like
Chad,
about
this
Dooku.
is a family-friendly podcast. bro.
Yeah. Love the way he pulls out his curved handle.
We just went to the dark side real fast.
Yeah, we sure did. I'm cool with a C. C for count. That works for me.
That works
C
for
the
me.
count.
Do we want to address the Mace Windu in the room?
Yeah, dude. Like
Let's bring him in. There he is, front and center.
Can we bring him in and then just throw him out the window?
Oh, wow.
I don't think he holds up to.
As far as his place in Star Wars, I was not impressed. Like what Chad was saying earlier, he didn't do anything for me. Like, and he was supposed to be really powerful, like really strong.
He's
really
got a purple
awesome.
lightsaber.
Mm.
Come on, you gotta we didn't get to see what did we see from him? Exactly what you guys are saying. He just sat in the council room and told Anakin
I would have
be
thought
in a whiny little.
right.
yeah.
So were we trying to put him on the bench and revive someone from the bench?
Yes, that would be my vote.
Yeah, it sucks to say it, but
Does it though?
And he's the only one without a background. He was a ping with a transparent background, so it's just a
See,
perfect.
he's just always got to be different, okay?
Yeah.
I would, out of the 5 that were sitting down there, I would vote for Saw making it back onto the tier list.
as
All
a
right, people
D,
getting brought out of bench get sit in D tier.
Yep, that's fine with me
That's
until I
fair.
can talk about him.
Automatic D tier. All right.
Okay, so let's just go through the other ones that are the other 4 that are on a row right now that we haven't talked about, so we can place them.
Chewbacca.
Chewie.
What we doing with Chewie?
I'm gonna stick with my thought process with Count Dooku. We're gonna go C tier for Chewie. He doesn't really do much for me.
didn't he rip someone's head off or something?
Arms.
That's right.
Arms, yeah.
Well, that is pretty cool though.
That would have
It's
been
the
an S
Wookiee
tier
bang.
if it was the head though.
Probably they just
For-
didn't
for
put
me.
that in the movie.
I agree with you on Chewbacca. Like he's an important character, but there's just not much there, you know. There's
However, you were right. But him and Solo together is what makes
Same
that
with yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
true.
their buddy thing going on is what makes them cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're putting him at C.
Yeah, C works for me.
Okay. Well, what about the Fett family? And their clone of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Captain Rex is that Captain Rex? I don't even
Yes.
know. Okay,
Yeah.
Captain Rex is like maybe not even on the list for me. If he is, he's a D tier. Sorry.
Wow.
Django again. It was cool in the prequels to have a Boba Fett style character, but he sucks. And the basic, I mean, he's there to drive the point of the clones home, really. And then he gets his head cut off by a dude that we put in whatever tier we put. Is he even on here anymore? Oh, he's down at the bottom. Yeah,
He's on the bench.
Yeah, he's on the bench. So I don't know, man. Django would be on the bench for me personally.
But they have seismic charges.
Yeah, I mean, and they're awesome sounding. I'll give them that. It's really cool sounding. But
Out of the 3, who would you save?
I would say Boba all day.
Boba. Yep, that's
Yeah.
my vote.
Even after the tragedy of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
That
here.
wasn't a
I
tragedy.
mean, we talked about it. I
He was-
liked Book of Boba Fett. So
Yeah, he was good in that.
yeah,
It's just the bike gang. Like that
it's
was
the it's the bike gang and their incessant need to have a chase scene in every one of these shows that is just not well choreographed or shot.
yeah.
Like the freaking young Leia running through the woods from grown men that can't catch her.
Yes.
So I would say to Django's so cool though. But
But was all of his coolness like outside of what we saw in film?
no, all of it was on the film. That's the only thing he's been in. And the
Okay.
video game. Video game was good too. Bounty
Okay.
Hunter. But
I
I
need to
could
play
be
that.
convinced
I
to
see that
save
all the
Bo.
time.
I could be convinced to save Bo to drop him on the bench, but we can also just drop him on the bench.
I got another question. Who's got the coolest armor?
Captain Rex. Out of those three, Captain Rex looks the coolest.
I agree.
I mean,
Mm.
looks the coolest, but I don't know, man. That's hard. Mandalorian. That's another whole different like conversation. Like
Yeah,
like
tier
stack
ranking
ranking the
the
Mando armor.
armor.
Anyone with a T visor,
Yeah.
T visor crew.
Yeah. Yeah, out of those three, I would definitely put Captain Rex at least at a C. At least. Django does nothing for me. Boba Fett, I don't know. I don't know if I really have an opinion. I think he deserves to be on here. Where? I don't know.
I mean, he's another one of those characters, at least before the Book of Boba Fett and any expanded universe stuff, we don't get a whole heck of a lot of.
Right.
So he's got like, at least for me, he's got the like Night King thing going on where we just don't get a lot of them. So he's just automatically badass. And then, you know, when we did get a lot more of them, some people didn't like it. So
Yeah.
he's easily one of the most compelling side characters of the originals for me. But he does kind of go out like a bitch and doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. I think that Shadows of the Empire is really cool with him as well. That fleshes out a little bit more of what was going on in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So I don't know. I have a deep tie to Boba Fett. Like, this is my favorite character as a kid. So
Yeah.
I think though, like his importance, like especially, I mean, it starts with Django, but like vitally important to the clone movement, right?
yeah, that's what I said. Like, I think Django's
Boba-
very important, but he's just
Yeah,
he's just
Django's
a
important.
repeat.
Yeah.
He's just a repeat of Boba Fett and a less compelling one, in my opinion.
I think that
So
explains it.
See?
I mean, he's a C. He's a C.
Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
he's a C for me, at least.
Yeah. Does that mean C's like filled?
C's
No, the only one that
could
we
be.
have capped
Oh.
is S tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bo and Saul made it on there. We'll just keep them down at the D tier for now.
Yeah, let's
go
throw
with-
Cad down there, maybe.
Cad Bazane.
Yeah, like he's okay. Another cool bounty hunter.
So cool.
It was awesome to see him show up, and these shows run together. What did he show up? Mando or Book of Boba Fett?
Boba. Book of
Boba.
Boba.
Boba Fett.
It was awesome to see him in live action. I think they did a really good job showing him in live action.
Yeah, great translation from
yeah.
animated into
Very
live
good.
action.
Yeah, very, very good. Wish they would have
but he
taken that
had-
route with.
He had the like too pasty kind of like
Yeah, a
fat
little too-
thing going
little
that
too
the
white
Inquisitor
blue, yeah.
had.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's
why
true.
they're like white facing them. when
Well,
they
I
put
think
them in.
the annoying thing, at least for me, for the Inquisitor, is that race is shown in Revenge
Yeah.
of the Sith, like
Yeah.
blatantly. Like, why they would not just use that same,
The
whatever
narrow
was going on
vampire
there.
face.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Cad, it's cool. I love all of Cad's episodes in Clone Wars, especially the one where they like
And Bad Batch.
and Bad Batch, but the one where they,
Oh, Fennec Shand.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, she's not even on the list, bro. The one where they're doing like the trial. I can't remember what they're doing. They're trying to get like a job in Obi-Wan's
Yeah,
undercover.
Oh yes.
That episode's really, really good. That run of episodes, I think there might be a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's down there in D tier for me for sure. Especially looking at who we have left.
I've got my final four pick for S tier.
Whew.
You got your
Ooh.
okay. Let's hear it.
Anakin,
Okay.
Obi-Wan, Luke, and Yoda.
Wow. Quite the nominations. Are we gonna tackle S tier right now?
No.
Do it. We went
We-
there. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah,
I
let's do it.
think Anakin for me is a no doubter.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
even Anakin as a character separate from Vader, I think he
Yeah.
deserves to be on there. And if
Absolutely.
you haven't seen the animated stuff, you're probably scratching your head wondering why
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
But in the animated stuff, Anakin's
the chosen
character
one.
is so good. So good. And of course Vader. You don't have to really argue anything about that. So
Yeah,
I think that's a
yeah.
unanimous S tier. across the board.
Absolutely, yeah. There was no way we were getting out of here without putting him. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more lenient on the prequels than a lot of people. I think I especially in Revenge of the Sith, I think he's great.
Oh, so good.
Absolutely great. I think he has a lot of good scenes in Attack of the Clones as well. He does have a lot of bad scenes in that movie as well. The sand scene obviously is
George
like
is
brutal.
directing. Let's just chalk it up to that.
Yeah,
But I
and his
mean,
acting is a little finicky, but you
Yeah.
got to it's got to be complicated to act in front of a green screen. No matter who you are, I don't care if you put freaking Robert De Niro up there, he's going to struggle acting in a giant green room. So
Yeah, and literally this is George's like directing style. He's like, all right, here's the scene, but like green screen, right? Because George in the OG trilogy is different because they're in like the Sahara Desert in like Morocco, and he's like describing it to them. But like the prequels, he's like, all right, green screen, blue screen. He's like, all right, here's what's going on. Say this. You're kind of feeling sad. Go. And like the dude gives zero direction, and then and it's also the kind of thing that's like, did I do good? He's like, I'll fix it later. So, and actually that's what I watched a reel recently where Mark Hamill was telling a story about him and the cantina scene, and like even Mark Hamill was like, he talked up this cantina scene about like what it would look like, and they get there and it's like it kind of looks like crap because like we got like a giant praying mantis and like just weird aliens, and it looks like really sketchy, and George is like, we'll fix that later. And I mean he tried to and did. So not the greatest director by any stretch.
No,
that's why
not.
Empire's great, because he didn't direct it.
Yeah. I mean, I get what he was thinking. Like here, it's a sci-fi thing. It's much easier to show a lot of these locations with CGI, right? And a lot of the stuff that's going on in those locations. But yeah, I mean, I could watch if I am looking for a Star Wars movie to watch, and people are going to hate this. It's always Revenge of the Sith. Like that movie is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, start to finish. It's
start to finish. It's
nonstop.
Yeah, wall to wall action, dude. It's so good.
I need like the hour cut of Attack of the Clones, or maybe the 45-minute cut, and like that's just like,
and it's
S tier
right up there. Right? Yeah, I agree.
Whew.
All right. So the other one you said was Obi.
Come on, bro. He's like Meme God alone gets him.
Yeah.
Meme lord of the internet, dude. Also, just strapping is all get out.
Yeah, he's easy S tier for my money.
So I was thinking about this earlier when they faced off in A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that Obi-Wan could have defeated Vader? Like instead of bowing or just standing there?
No.
I don't. Yeah,
you don't
I don't
think
know.
So?
No, I don't know.
No.
I think Vader's an S tier fighter, and Obi-Wan's an A tier fighter, and I think that was not going to change because they both got
like
old.
Half droid, and Obi-Wan's like 130 in that fight.
I mean, you also got to think he couldn't even beat. Technically, even though I guess he does kind of beat Anakin, but it's because Anakin is being a showboat, right?
Didn't he like slip on a rock or something?
Yeah, he's trying to do something that he couldn't pull off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a pretty deadlocked fight through that entire fight until the end there. So,
yeah, there's a natural like deviation too when it comes to like Force and Light and just like those characters. So like Obi-Wan is going to age, become wiser. His goal was to become a Force ghost, right? Like he was on a different path. Whereas like Vader, dark side, like he's mostly droid. Also, the older and like more twisted you become by the dark side, the more powerful you get
and more aggressive.
So it's like a different curve. Like Jedi kind of like they peak and then they like kind of kilter
Well,
off,
that-
whereas like dark side kind of like
The
Ramps
same
slowly-
could
Right.
be said then with Yoda,
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
because he ages and he gets wiser, and he's not a fighter anymore.
Yeah.
right,
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
guess-
and I also have to say that I rewatched Obi-Wan, and I think, dude, I even though there's stuff that I disagree with it, I like it a lot. I like Obi-Wan. I like seeing him back. I like seeing how his character has changed since the end of Revenge of the Sith. There's a lot I like in it. There's just a lot I don't like as well.
Yeah.
You know, so
dude, I didn't even pick this up when I watched it, but of course the internet put me onto it. The gate when he's like on the like transport and they like bust him at the checkpoint, they blow up this like force field gate, but it's just like 2 posts. Like they could just
two
walk
posts, they
around
walk
it.
around it. Yeah.
Like just weird stuff like that. That
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. It's dumb.
I'm okay with it. I would maybe
What?
also be okay with him being an A tier, but that's just me.
What?
Really?
Who else would you put up
Interesting.
there though?
We'll get to it. We'll
All
get
right.
to it.
All right.
So the third one you said Luke, right?
Yep.
Whew.
Again, I think I would throw him as an A tier.
Ooh.
I'm an A tier on Luke as well.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh,
And I think it's I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. Like going back and watch it, like he's just, I don't know if he's just not a good actor. There's just something off about him through a majority of the originals, and I can't place it. And then, I think he's a very important character in Star Wars, obviously. But from what we see of him, especially like in the sequels, like he's totally different in the sequels. I don't know, and you have to weigh that. You have to weigh that into the Luke character, whether you want to ignore those movies or not. It's part of the story. It's not our story. We didn't write it. So for that little ding that he takes in The Last Jedi, he's an A tier. Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
by comparison, like he got started much later
Yeah.
than Anakin did. So yeah, I don't know.
My thing with
I
Luke
can
is like
understand A.
even though like we know the end of Luke because they sequeled us on it. All the legend stuff, like all this character
Oh.
that people imagine him to be,
Yeah.
I still don't think the sequels write that down because there's like 40 years of Luke that like we've never seen.
We never seen.
So
right?
I don't know why like people are like so mad about sequel Luke because sure, whatever. You can still have all the other stuff because there's still a good 30, 40 years of badass Luke.
Right.
And that's why I still think I could S tier, A tier, I get it. I was originally thinking S tier for him, just because like what he represents, right? He was kind of he technically he was the last Jedi before the sequels and rebuilds everything after this very devastating portion of Star Wars history. Redeems his father, the greatest character, right, ever. So I hold Luke pretty high up there.
Yeah, I mean, if we're adding, like, I hate to bring it up again, but him in Shadows of the Empire is really good. If you guys haven't read that book or
Mhm.
find the audiobook's like 2 hours long, I think.
Yeah.
It at least gives you the good notes. And Star Wars audiobooks are freaking fantastic. Like they
they're
have
awesome.
music and sound effects and everything.
Oh, wow.
They're really good.
They're
But
my
yeah,
favorite
he's
audiobooks.
for sure. I think he's really good in that. I don't know. Like he doesn't. Yeah, he's just an A tier for me, man.
Jordan would be like punching us
he's-
all
yeah,
in
he's
the
He
ripping his
probably
ass right now.
he's probably punching his phone or computer or whatever.
Nah, he's too busy being a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
All right. I mean, we can leave Luke on the fence, right?
Yeah,
Because
leave
Yeah,
him-
we'll
leave him
float
on
him
the
for
fence.
now.
Yeah.
we'll float him right
Uh,
there.
And then your last pick for S tier was Yoda.
Yoda, what's
sir.
up, dude?
I think again A tier for me.
I'm A tier, kind of there with you. I could be persuaded lower, but at least
Yeah.
or maybe at most A tier. I don't know if I could S tier Yoda.
I don't think I could S tier Yoda as well, unfortunately. But that being said, like he is an awesome character. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is
and
true.
does he sit comfortably next to Ahsoka and Kylo? Like according to our ranking, I don't think he does. I think he's higher than that.
There's like a tier in between S
there's a
and
tier,
A.
yeah. There's like an A+ tier. That's
I'll
where
put
Luke
him
and
on
Yoda.
the A. We'll put them in the A+ tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Just
I think
leave
he's
them
cool.
floating.
We get a totally different Yoda in the original series, obviously, than we get in the prequels. I think we're gonna get more of him in all this High Republic stuff as well.
Yeah.
He's seemingly in the Eclipse trailer, I believe, too. So
speaking of the High Republic, go on.
No, go for it. No, go for it.
Speaking of the High Republic, on May the 4th, they did release a bunch of random Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus. One of those things is a kids show, like true like Paw Patrol style, like kids show, but
Young
Jedi.
Yeah.
And my son's been watching it, and Yoda's in it, and it's just like about like these younglings off on like some distant part of like the system galaxy, that like a remote temple, do a bunch of journeys, and Yoda like visits from the main temple and stuff. So I'm like, this is a cool, like weird way to start the High Republic. Like,
yeah,
like this is technically the first entry into the High Republic in terms of outside of books and comics. So
right,
appropriate for the young Jedi thing. But
and where is that timeline wise? Is that like right before the prequels? Like butts up.
200 or 400 years before.
200 or 400 years. Yeah, I saw an unnamed person
maybe
say
100.
something about those little guys not seeing Order 66 coming, and I'm like, I don't think they did, because I think they were long dead. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I was like, are they, because like the one main character, there's just like weird foreshadowing things. Like, are they setting up some of these characters to be like bigger characters later on? You know, because it's just like, oh, there's that character from this one-off like kids show, but he eventually becomes like a badass High Republic character in like live action.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of all the weird things they could do there.
I'm definitely more intrigued, especially after Jedi Survivor. I'm definitely more intrigued by the High Republic stuff. I didn't know anything about it. Like, I knew that they were doing books and stuff, and I knew I think Eclipse is set in that time frame. But anyway, back to who are we talking about? Yoda?
Yeah. I'd say A tier. Jeff.
Yeah, I'd say A tier. Yeah. I mean,
you
can use your bump. Nobody's used the bump yet. Let's not.
Well, we haven't heard him his reasoning yet, and I'm gonna steal a catchphrase from a local radio station I listen to that I've loved, and now I need to like integrate it. It's whenever they're talking about something, the one host's always like, "All right, show your work." Why is Yoda S tier? Show your work, Jeff. Let's go.
I did not.
You opened this can of worms by
did
declaring your S tier candidate.
Oh, no.
So now you got Nick all worked up.
You got him all worked up again.
I'm gonna go refill my drink and I'll be back. With the drink.
I don't know. I love Yoda. I feel like we talked about earlier, the fight scene with him and Dooku. That was freaking amazing. He's a legend. The one thing that would bump him down is the way he looked in the original trilogy.
Yes, I agree, dude.
And
it's rough looking now if you go back and watch
those. It's so bad. And it sucks because like at its time, like movie was freaking phenomenal.
Right.
But now that we have all this CGI and everything, which they're still screwing it up somehow.
Yeah.
He looks great now. And he's just a staple of the universe. I mean, how could you not think of Yoda when you think of Star Wars. Like, I mean, I
Fair.
don't.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, and let's not undersell his fight with Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, which
One of
is maybe as
my
good
favorite.
as the Dooku ones, or the Dooku one. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like my issue is his portrayal in the original series, where he's just like this old grumpy little freaking creature that's hidden in a swamp somewhere. And it's hard to see that he came from what he came from in the prequels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also. Go ahead, Mike.
cut. Okay. No, you say something because I'm gonna say something stupid. So
Me too. I would say one thing that kind of ruins him for me is that frickin' Seagull song.
Is that what he's gonna say? Yeah.
that's all I can think about when I see Luke, Yoda, and R2D2. But it's
man.
literally the best song ever. I love it, and it makes me cry every time I watch it. So that just for that might bump him up to S tier for me. But I'm cool with the A tier there. I would
Yeah.
say
I'm not going to use my bump, by the way.
okay, and I'll save. I want to save my two S tiers that are not up there yet until Nick comes back. Because Jen has taken his place right now, and I don't know.
Genbot.
I don't know how much Star Wars she's seen. So
She probably knows everything.
Let's see. I don't see this is complicated because I don't know what characters that you're talking about over here. So I was going to bring one up, but I don't want it to be one of your S tiers.
There he is. He's back.
All
All right, bring it up since he's back now.
Okay, I was going to do Maul next.
Yes, that was one of them.
Okay.
Is Yoda staying in A?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Chad and I have voted Maul as an S tier, or he guessed that Maul would be one of my S tiers.
So we're going to talk about him now?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Maul. Definitely not an S tier.
Crowded
For my money, at least.
For as cool as he was, he should have had more screen time.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
should have been.
Watch the animated stuff.
That's fine, but like my first impression of him was, dude, this guy is what's up. He's bad news. He's not even in what.
He's in like
5-6 scenes or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
Then he gets freaking cut in half. Like what?
In the most greatest scored fight scenes of all time.
Yes,
hands down.
I agree.
Like my favorite fight scene of Star Wars is that him and Obi-Wan.
I agree with you. I think that that fight between all three of them is fantastic, and I think you could argue that he is really what sets the ball rolling for Anakin by killing Qui-Gon and taking that role model away from him. And he's a very important. He's a very important character as far as that goes. Why did Filoni do that?
That's the Filoni kind of theory or explanation. It's not a theory. He said it, so it's true. But he has a very.
So it's true.
It is true. He has a very eloquent bit about that whole sequence. So the score is called Duel of the Fates, right? And that whole fight scene is literally the like battle for Anakin's fate.
Yeah. I
exactly
agree,
what you said, because of the way that went and because that happened, that is like everything from there on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
When
I think
he
it's
explains it the way he did, it just like it's like, wow, George is so smart.
Yeah, I think it's the killing, maybe the one of the killing blows for the Jedi is that, because it literally gets the ball rolling on their downfall. So I think he's a very important character. He's great in Clone Wars. He is great in Rebels. I would put him in A tier. I don't think he's an S tier.
That's fair.
So, all right. So that said, I feel the need that someone needs to move out of A. A is getting too crowded.
I agree, but we still have other Yeah, I
Hey,
mean, we have other
there's
characters.
space to slide those others over. We can fit more
I'm
on
not putting
A.
more than 6 in a row. There's a rule I'm making right now.
The rule of
We're not
six.
loading up A.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
we got-
like 2/3 on the bar, so
I still think he floats between, because I mean, his role, like you guys just said, determined the entire outcome of the Star Wars universe, of it, essentially. And while, he's only in, 5 or 6 scenes in live action or whatever. The amount of screen time and importance he has in the animated stuff is, I don't know, overlooked maybe, or underappreciated. He's a huge player in the animated shows, and then of course we got teased with the cool like scene at the end of Solo,
Yeah, man, so bummed
which
about
I
that. Yeah,
really wish someday we get some more play into that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I guess I would be okay with him being an A tier, but he would get my vote for an S tier. The fourth one for me would be Thrawn. But I don't know if he has enough material to justify an S tier.
I think at the current moment he doesn't. He was a huge character in what is now Legends with the original Thrawn trilogy. There's new Thrawn trilogy stuff that I have not read it that's out now.
I've listened to those books, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, those original ones. Oh, the new ones you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the Heir to the Empire trilogy, I think is what it's called. Those books are awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we're maybe going to be telling a little bit of that story because she even drops it in the Ahsoka trailer. She says "Heir to the Empire," so which might just be a cool nod, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I think
he's going to be.
Yeah, I think that he's got the chance to be an A S tier character, but just right now, I don't know that he's got enough material that we can put him any higher than B.
That's fair.
For my money. Yeah,
I could live with that. I think I love him in Rebels, obviously, but I think I'm basing my ranking on my excitement about him.
right.
So yeah,
I
I don't think I could justify an S or an A. I think B is solid. What did you say, Nick? Did I hear a C?
I'd pop him down to C.
Why? Show your work.
So in current canon, he has pretty minimal screen time. He's at most just like kind of a villain in Rebels, but not really. He's just like an imperial bureaucrat. He is at best just like a tactician.
Yeah.
In the Clone Wars, like they had droids that did his job.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
He
I don't
has
know.
to show
I
his work before like I really give him more credit.
yeah. I think that I don't know. I just think that the tactician style is much needed in Star Wars. Like we always have these powerful Sith Lords, so it's cool to see somebody else taking over that doesn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah. And the way he executes that role, I think, is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
How he is as a character, his demeanor. He's like the opposite of old Rilo up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see him in Ahsoka. I can't wait, to be honest with you. It's been a long time coming that we get some sort of live action Thrawn. And
so cool that he is going to be played by his voice actor, Lars Mikkelsen.
Also awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. So I like our working board right now. We have 3 left that have not been placed. So let's go through those, and then we can refine what we have on the board and decide if we need to add any from the bench or drop any, swap any. So Princess Leia, where does she land?
I was thinking her too.
We're just the same person tonight, Jeff.
Yeah.
Getting crowded in A tier.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an A, B tier, maybe.
I would say B.
Yeah. I'm leaning more towards B.
She's less than Ahsoka.
I would. Honestly,
she's
I-
less than
I
Kylo Ren.
think she is. I think, yeah.
I didn't put
She's
her
less
in
than
C.
Maul.
That's just me. Yes.
I mean, I'd put her low. Yeah. If,
I would say yes to all of your questions, Nick.
yeah.
All right, Mike hates women. We got
I
that.
do. Confirmed.
We have
Confirmed.
no women in the S tier. We should probably change that.
I mean, if it's not going to be Leia, it's going to be
No.
Ahsoka if we're bumping a woman up to A tier
I would
or S tier rather.
I agree with you.
I mean, Leia's great,
I mean, she's
but
critical to the whole rebel thing.
yeah, she is.
But
you also have to. I didn't like much of anything they did with her in the sequels.
Right.
The blowout into space and then force pulled her way back. It's just I get that science kind of goes out the window with Star Wars, but
Right.
like, come on, she's dead as soon as she pops out of that freaking thing. So
Yeah, you don't get away with that stuff in Dragon Ball Z. Like,
yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
Star Wars.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like another like maybe not
No lower than B.
No lower than B.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be happy with B.
All right, so
All right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ruffle up our like these upper tiers here because Han Solo has to go in S for me.
S tier for Han Solo.
Yep,
Okay.
that makes S tier crowded, and that makes A tier more crowded.
You're gonna need to do some splaining here.
Holy crap! Like he's like the gunslinger. Like he's the smuggler.
He was the
the
original
shiesty boy.
sci-fi western cowboy.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he's like so like we have Mando now. We had Han Solo,
Right.
who's obviously a way better version of Mando. But
I feel like he was
Like,
cooler.
yeah, he's
They
the
did a way better job.
Personality wise,
smuggler.
between Han and Mando, obviously Han wins that.
Well,
But if we're
Yeah.
putting this, let's put the three space cowboys together. The one that literally wears a cowboy hat, Cad Bane.
Okay.
Han Solo, and then our Beskar wearing Gunslinger 2. I would say Cad Bane's probably the coolest out of the three of them.
Holy moly.
Ooh, dude, hard disagree on that one. Yeah. I mean, Cad Bane, don't get me wrong, Cad Bane's cool. I like Cad
he's
Bane
cool.
a lot, but he doesn't even come remotely close to Han Solo in my eyes. I would agree with Nick on the S ranking of Han Solo. I think he's just a cool character, dude. He's like the freaking
Yeah.
gunslinging smuggler, dude.
Did
I
you
think
guys-
they,
he's a regular guy.
yeah.
He's also so where Cassian embodies that like normal person that got pulled into all the mess of what Star Wars is. Han Solo is like the main S tier character with all the other main tier characters that got pulled in. He's just the guy that shrugs, just like, all right, we'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
He's
And
the
I like
normal
his
person that got pulled into a bunch of fantastical bull crap.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to deal
Yeah,
with.
I mean, it kind of mirrors Mando's kind of story too, where he just took a job in the original movie. Han Solo took a job in the original movie that led him down this path of becoming a rebel. So yeah, I don't know, dude. He's all day in S tier for me.
It's funny because talking about this, I kind of see Solo being the same as Cassian, but like the charismatic Cassian.
Yeah.
Because again, Cassian,
Yeah.
normal dude, gets pulled into this cause just by taking a job, and he doesn't want to do it like the whole time he's doing it. And
Yep.
that's essentially Han Solo, except for he's like likable and charming and funny, and Cassian just like grumpy and hates everything while he's doing it. Did you guys like the Solo movie?
Oh, one of my favorite movies.
Dude, I love Solo. Yeah, bro. I absolutely love Solo. That is like the biggest like confusing part of the new Star Wars stuff that people didn't like that movie.
It's
Yeah.
Like I think that dude
crazy.
does a great job playing young
It was great.
Han Solo. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'd
talk about-
say
talk about Star Wars movies you just want to like turn on and watch. Like it's Episode 3.
Yep.
It's Rogue One, Solo,
Or Solo. Yeah.
and like Empire. Those are like the 4 out of the 12
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Those are to me those are the S tier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Yeah, Solo is a great movie, for sure. Yeah, we're
Where'd we put
scrolling a
it?
couple tier charts up there. A
Oh,
tier.
no, we didn't have it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
it's
A
up there.
tiered it.
Boom.
Yeah, we A tiered it.
We are.
That
backing
is
it
a
up.
very aesthetically pleasing chart there.
It is.
Just man, it's great. And yeah, so audio listeners, we're looking at our Star Wars movie tier list we did like last year sometime. That probably made some people angry, but yeah, I mean, okay, I guess I don't have much weight here. But I don't know if I'd put him as an S tier. Where would you put Mando? As he's the last one that's not on the graph yet or on the tier yet.
It's T-Visor buddies right here. No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. The season 3 kind of threw a wrench into Mando for me a little bit. The problem with Mando is he's just like a combination of characters that we already have. Like he's a combination of Han Solo, Boba Fett, and Bo. You know, so
I'm gonna use an analogy I've already used this episode. Whereas Cassian is the vehicle that the audience gets to see the formation of the Rebel Alliance through, Mando is the vehicle that the audience gets to sit in as Filoni drives through, bringing all of his animated characters to live action.
Right, exactly. That's what he is.
So I mean, is he like a great fighter? Yeah, of course. He's a freaking Mandalorian. But like as a character himself, like super shallow.
Yeah.
Not much of a personality.
Zero personality. I mean, you don't even see his fate. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would say C at highest, maybe D.
I thought you were leaning him up into S tier. I thought this is what we were waiting for the drop the ball here. That makes me happy. I'm happy with C tier. Right next to Boba, you know.
Right next
until
to
we get some more that's not Grogu and Bo and Luke Skywalker crap.
Yeah.
He's got to sit at the C tier.
Yeah, I think that's just a problem that Disney as a whole, this direction they're moving in. I love the crossover stuff, and like this is especially true with where the MCU is right now. Nothing really can be watched on its own anymore.
Right.
And Mando suffers greatly from this. Like his character doesn't even get a chance to develop. He doesn't even get a chance to have like a true story arc through his seasons because they're busy interjecting Boba Fett and Ahsoka and Luke and all these other characters from other things that we can learn about those characters into his show.
Right.
And it makes his character suffer, I think. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'd be different if they had I mean, even if he had, this is weird to say, but like, he doesn't even have what they gave Boba in Boba's show, right? So like, at least Boba Fett's show, like, even like what part of it was about him being like a badass, like, he still got more character development in that show than like Mando has gotten 3 seasons, and they did all that character development on his like past in like 3 episodes,
right?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, it's true. So, and Mando even got 2 episodes of his season, and we still didn't get any.
Yeah, right.
So I definitely, I mean, I hold Boba and Rex higher than Mando by a long shot when it comes to like characters.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'd wear those as costumes for Halloween over Mando's like just boring, plain, Reggie Messenger.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be mad about him being D tier, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
C's a stretch for me in the current
Especially
time,
got Dooku
at least.
in there and like Rex.
Right.
I would say
Poor Grogu.
Grogu's garbage. Just delete that picture. It's
S tier, baby.
yeah, the
Look,
Grogu.
he's
He is
tier.
the S tier.
Gonna call it the Grogu tier.
I would. This probably might cause outrage, but I would swap. I mean, it's not like a huge swap, but I would swap Saw with Chewie. Because like Chewie, sure, he's a lovable, like, fun character, but what is his development? He's just Han's sidekick.
He's the same.
He's the comic relief along with Han.
That you can't understand.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Which is fine. Like, that's fun, but
It gives Han more dialogue.
It is
That's
fun,
true.
but it's
Yeah.
also
He's the Groot. He's the original Groot.
Yeah, it's also slightly annoying though, especially like in the books, at least like Shadows, they're just like Chewbacca says something, and then that's it. Like you don't know what he said, and then they have like Leia react to it in some way. So yeah, I wouldn't be
because with
bent
as
out of
little of Saul that we get, like the little chunks of him, like he actually has a character that develops, and his trajectory is
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
crazy good.
Man, you down here making like arguments for C and D. We need to settle.
Yeah,
S and
yeah.
A.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Everybody's place. Now we got to figure out S and A.
All right. So we have enough to agree for that swap, Nick. So make that swap. Our first one that's kind of hanging out in no man's land is Thrawn. So let's settle where he should land.
yeah, I slap him in B. Slap him in B.
What? What?
Let's put him in B because he's really got the potential to be an A and S tier character, but we just at the current moment we can't put him any higher.
So it's all speculation.
Or any lower, really.
Well, yeah, because what we do have is pretty solid, and
Yeah,
B is solid. C is below average. So I don't think Thrawn is below average.
No, I don't
think
think
he's
he
just
is, yeah.
lacking with material to
not
judge.
developed.
And what we have is solid.
so let's shape up Anakin and Obi-Wan up there. They're obvious S tiers, right? So let's move them over and lock them into place, if you will. And then Han's locked.
Hans
locked.
So move him up. Yeah, Han's locked S tier.
I wasn't sure if my argument for him worked on Mike.
It doesn't matter. I don't have a strong enough opinion to knock him out of the remaining.
Yeah, so here's where we stand, right? Is Maul A tier? Did we A tier Maul?
I would use my bump. My one challenge bump.
Bump him down?
To bump him up to S tier.
Oh. But you can't. We already got 4 people in S tier. You'd have to finagle one of us to bump an S tier out before you can bump in.
A bump / swap.
I mean, I'm comfortable with what the movements we just made. I mean, the more I think about it, like you almost have to put Luke at S tier. Like you have to. I don't know that you can justify taking Luke out and putting Maul up there.
Luke is kind of lame, though.
Especially Maul.
Especially
get
Maul,
out of here,
yeah.
Jeff. You don't even know. Get out of here, Jeff.
There would be
S tier all day.
I don't know, man.
Based on
like Luke lives on the benefit of nostalgia and being a part of the original trilogy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you to a point. Yeah.
his character, sure, like
Alright,
he's
alright.
the first Jedi we're introduced to, but like what we get
He
in those
literally
3 movies.
brings the Jedi Order from 0 to hero. Like,
Yeah,
they were
I guess.
done.
I mean, yeah,
was
that's what
Hope.
happens.
He was the new
But,
Hope.
like,
He was the
he's just-
New Hope.
He's just like if Jar Jar Binks was like a human
Oh man.
Don't even finish that
Stop.
sentence. Don't
and
finish
not
that. Stop it.
and not like
And not
have the
annoying.
coordination of like a baby
I'm
deer.
calling
Can I mute
Jordan
him?
right now.
Can I mute him? I can
I'm
mute
calling
him.
Jordan.
God.
I'm phoning in a friend.
Hey, Mike, talk.
Yes.
Are you still talking?
You muted yourself, you ding dong.
No, I turned his mic down.
Turned his mic down.
I have the power.
No.
I mean, here, outside of Mike, Nick, Dad, do you disagree with the ratings that we have right now? The rankings that we have right now?
I am good with the current standings.
Luke Skywalker hallway scene in Mandalorian season 2 finale. Like
Yeah.
dude's
We've seen it before. We've seen it Vader's scene in Rogue One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you okay?
Fair.
So let's do it this way. If we pit Luke versus Maul, who would win?
Luke.
Yeah, I think it has to be Luke.
Maul's not that good. He gets roughed up by Ahsoka.
Right.
That's true.
And he gets cut in half.
He gets cut in half by Obi-Wan. He gets scolded by Obi-Wan, an ancient boy. Like when they're both old geezers. Like you talk about like if Obi-Wan would have defeated Vader in that fight scene. No. Would old Obi-Wan defeat Maul as an old man? Heck yeah, he had to do like 2 moves and just
Right.
Really? Okay. Well, I meant young Obi-Wan from like the prequel trilogy.
still wrecked him. And Maul had high and no, Maul had the high ground. Yeah,
The high ground.
they still lost.
Dude, that scene though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I get the power aspect. I think Maul just is such a better character than Luke.
No.
I agree. I
didn't-
mean, I don't know, man. I don't know that we can move him higher than A. I agree. He's a great character. I agree.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that he holds a candle. And I was even somewhat arguing that Luke shouldn't be S tier earlier. But I
Right.
think the more that you think about it, you can't move anybody else up into S tier.
If
I mean, he's in there with Palpatine. That's an honor for Maul on its own.
that's true. If you
Yeah.
you said, Chad, that you you're alluding to possibly moving Luke out. If you had to, who would you replace him with?
Rilo.
No, it wouldn't be right. It'd probably be.
I'm trying to move Rilo down. What are you talking about?
It'd probably be Yoda. Honestly, looking at the A tier, that would be the pick. Either that or Palpatine, just from sheer power and
I would say
importance of the story.
Palpatine.
Yeah, and just to give a little bit more of a dark side representation up in the S
more
tier.
balance.
A little more
You say?
balance.
You gotta have
if you
balance.
will.
That's the whole
Balance
point
Vader
of
is
it.
ruler.
Up there, the most
Yeah.
like tormented, torn, dark side.
Right.
He's 2 people.
Right.
It's true. It's true. All right. Well, I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, I have no choice but to be.
I have no choice but to be. You could use your bump.
You could force
I
bump him
tried, but I
You
got
just gotta
rejected.
you gotta
down. No, you
bump
tried to force
somebody
bump
out.
someone up. That was
Yeah.
your mistake.
Right.
You should have forced bumped
You
down.
gotta bump someone down. Yeah.
Well, you know, just to shake it up. Well, I don't know if I would put Yoda over Luke. I mean,
Well, you're just bumping him down.
right,
You're
but we know that Chad would probably. He just said he would put Yoda in place.
He
of
said
Luke.
Yoda or Palpatine.
I did, yes.
That's
And I
true,
lean
that's
more
true.
towards Palpatine because we need, like
Same.
I said, Dark
I'm
side needs a little
surprised,
bit
like-
more up there.
Luke's getting all this, and Han's just like chilling there next to Obi-Wan.
Because Han's character is
It's
good.
Great. It's great.
My beef with Luke is I think his character is very dull. Like I don't think
Yeah.
his importance is bad or lacking, or his power is bad or lacking. I just think his
As a
character is just
character, I would
not
say
good.
like versus Han wins versus Luke character wise.
Yes.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna use it. I'm
Bump
gonna
him
bump
down.
Luke down,
Do it.
and then let you guys fight over who replaces him.
It won't be a fight. It'll be Palpatine.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Palpatine.
I
could live with it.
Nick's got to weigh in.
Yeah.
What? Well, you just so
Rilo.
you just bumped Luke down.
Yeah, Rilo is taking his place. No, I'm just kidding. What would your vote to replace Luke be? Or is Nick just going to use his bump to put Luke
Bump Luke back up.
We're gonna have the first bump is then countered by the counter bump.
So you'll bump him back up. I'll bump him down, and then Chad will bump up Palpatine.
Yeah.
Episode over.
Episode over. Done.
Revenge of the Sith.
Man,
Yeah, it's up to you, Nick. I mean, we both voted Palpatine, so
we voted Palpatine. What?
To
moves up
Luke's
to
place.
S to take Luke's place.
Yeah, but like, okay, so Return of the Jedi, right? We've all seen that movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. The part of it where he redeems his father, defeats the Emperor, and like navigates that horrible situation of like temptation and like no way to win.
Yeah.
He like gets out of it. Like, did he not figure something out there in his story as well as in?
I don't think
Rebuild Jedi Order?
Mike's.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not
think
what I'm
Mike's
arguing.
saying.
I think that's awesome.
He's saying it's just
But I
a
think
his
dull
character-
ride to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His character's
that
just
whole
a-
ride for like the last little bit.
Yeah, exactly. They nailed it.
Great redemptive whatever for him.
The story's cool, power's cool, his importance to the franchise obvious. Just a dull character.
I mean, this isn't like I guess it is a character ranking, but it's not solely based on the
No,
character.
it's right.
Right. No, but it is a factor.
But
It
I
is a
would
factor.
if it was a power ranking, Han wouldn't be up there.
In a true
not that
sense
kind of power
the
rank.
word power.
Right? No, exactly. That if it was based solely on power and abilities, it would be dark and light side of the Force.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be any regular people.
That's true.
Yeah, I would put Palpatine up there. If we must move Luke down.
The fact that he was able to trick everyone in the beginning of that.
Oh yeah,
I mean that.
I wish the book Darth Plagueis would become canon. It's not canon, but it's like the Star Wars book that exists. It's all about Palpatine and his master.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Oh, he's fantastic.
You want to hate him, but you love him.
Man, Luke
And
and his apprentice that he like tried to murder for like 2 seconds, which completely ruined everything about everything people liked. What a weird scene.
having 5 in the A tier and then 4
really-
in every
really
other
wrecking
tier is
you.
really throwing me off.
Is
Really
it messing
wrecking
up
you.
your OCD?
Do
All
we
right.
do we
Yeah, we
rank?
just bump Maul all the way down then, yeah.
No,
No, he's the last one out. He's the last one out. All the way down.
Nope.
All the way down.
I quit show boys. I resign. Effective immediately. No,
Then get rid of
do we
the cowboy dude
keep
on
it?
D.
Do we get rid of one dude or do we add
We can
3
shuffle everybody in.
characters from the bench? Yeah. 3 characters from the bench.
Or remove someone else off a tier.
Yeah, or remove one person.
Yeah, I think one person.
Remove someone from the D tier? Or from the
All the
same
way
tier?
out.
Or
We have to like shift
or-
everything down. Like
Yeah, we'd have to
everyone
shift
have to get
everything
like
down.
demoted, and then someone bumped
We're
out.
just gonna have to keep
Or we're
it. We're
just-
just gonna have to keep it.
Yeah, I think we just keep it.
You just
I
keep
think
it.
you just live with your OCD, Mike. and
Yeah,
you just,
live with
Nick.
it.
I'm gonna trust Nick is while we're wrapping up the episode here. He's gonna make this like symmetrical in some way, a very nice looking design. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with this ranking. What do you got? What are your overall thoughts, Chad?
I'm really happy with it. Very, very happy.
Have we convinced you yet, Dad, to watch the animated stuff?
Absolutely. Like I feel
Why
like I'm
haven't you?
missing out
On it.
because I'm
Everything.
stupid.
Because I'm stupid.
I feel like I'm really like doing myself a disservice by not watching it because I'm missing out on so much story. And I feel like there's so much gap in between the first trilogy and the prequels trilogy.
You haven't seen
that
Clone Wars?
No.
Dude,
I
you're
started.
Oh my goodness.
like all of Anakin's like development.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was
it's,
confused because he at the end of
He becomes Darth Vader. I'm kidding. I know you know that.
what?
What? Holy
I
crap!
quit.
Spoiler alert, dude. Come on. Did you get a haircut, Dad?
What?
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I got 5 hairs cut.
Nice.
I got 5 hairs.
Yeah, like at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Like what happens in between that moment and A New Hope?
Rogue One.
So we can talk about this later. It's not important. But yes, I will start watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic.
In this to Jordan right now.
he's
I'm
gonna-
happy with this.
Oh, he's snuggling with his newborn son. I don't want him to like drop him or
He's
yell
gonna
and
get-
wake him up or do something that he would regret. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm glad that I got Luke out of the S tier. That makes me happy. And yeah, I mean, I just like talking Star Wars. We haven't talked Star Wars really for a minute, so it's been nice.
I'm just glad 50% of my Final Four made it to the
Yeah,
S.
you
Yeah.
did pretty good there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 2
mean,
were
come on.
no brainer.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is like the biggest no-brainer.
Yes.
I want to be the person that argues Obi-Wan out of the S tier. Like, who the
Right.
fuck is that?
And you would lose.
Like there's just memes. There's just internet and like that's all you just lean on that all day and then you won your
Yeah.
argument. You don't got to talk about
Yeah,
anything else.
We've tossed around the idea about maybe making this a March Madness style tournament. There's definitely enough characters that we could do a whole 64 character bracket. I think it'd be super
Oh,
fun. So that may happen sometime. I don't know.
Like based on actual technicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like game characters included. Yes.
Yeah, Cal would be in there.
Yes, Cal's got to be in there.
And Darth
Jordan's like,
Raven.
I have so many
Raven's got to be in
questions.
there as well. Yeah.
He is so freaking cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
So real quick, I had to ask AI how they would rank this.
Oh, nice.
And the top 4 is very close to what we had.
Okay.
What was the question?
I just gave ChatGPT the 20 because all
Okay.
I had was a 20 at the time.
Yeah.
Ranked
Yeah.
them, and I did solely on strength,
Okay, strength. That's important to know.
not overall. So anyway, it was Luke, Han.
Wow.
Strength?
What?
Strength for
I-
Han.
it's Chat.
Like, is this arm
GPT.
wrestling strength?
Yeah.
Force?
The next one
Football
is
strength.
Leia,
What?
and then
Well,
Anakin.
political power. I mean,
That's maybe. Okay.
I don't know where they get their, but then I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess-
No, I'm sorry. No. Palpatine, Yoda,
yes,
Luke,
yes.
and Obi-Wan.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, well,
yeah.
The first
Is
the first one
ChatGPT
was
like-
our actual list that
What
we
a
had in
dumb dumb.
Discord.
I was gonna say, like, is ChatGPT like saying, okay, political power, and then like smuggler, like wit power, like that's kind of how it sounded.
Strength.
Yeah.
However, it interpreted that. It's like,
Force.
Jordan's response. I have so
I have
many
so-
questions.
Yeah.
We need a reaction video from.
Yes. By the way, tweet at Jordan to tell him to start making content for us because he should do
Yes.
it. Peer pressure. It always works, guys.
yes.
Thanks for joining us and I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments here. Do you agree with our S tier? Am I an idiot for not wanting Luke to be up there? What difference is your tier list compared to ours? We want to know for sure. Make sure you check out showboysmedia.com for our backlog of podcast episodes and all the other fun stuff that's happening around Showboys. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/showboyspodcast. Tune in next week as we talk about something
We
and
don't know yet.
do podcast stuff together again
Idiots.
on a Thursday night.
Do things and talk about stuff.
That's right. In the meantime,
Play Red Dead.
have a lovely night, and we'll talk to you. Guys, Ben in Discord said, I finished Jedi Survivor.
I saw it.
What a
Yeah.
letdown of a game.
Yeah. Does he like any
Nice.
games? I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Wait, you finished
there
it?
any? Yeah, he finished
finished
it,
it?
and didn't like it.
You finished it.
I finished it and loved it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.